The 737 MAX 8 of TUI Fly was a disaster. The 737 MAX 9 of Turkish Airlines was an improvement, but still not great. But what about the 737 MAX 9 of United? Hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Boeing 737 MAX 9 of United Airlines. At the front of the box we have the cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the United Airlines branding. Then on the back side of the box we don't have much, but what we do have is a lovely image of the aircraft in real life. So now with no further ado, let's take a closer look at the aircraft model inside. And here she is, the Boeing 737 MAX 9 of United Airlines, the very first attempt of Herpa Wings of making the 737 MAX 9 in scale 500. Obviously, we already had two 737 MAX 8 aircraft. The main difference between these two aircraft types is simply that the 9 is a stretched version of the 8. As we can see, this aircraft is still in the previous United Airlines livery, which the airline inherited from Continental Airlines. However, it is the version that was used on the Dreamliners, which has a wavy line across the fuselage instead of a straight line. And since the aircraft is still in the livery that United inherited from the merger with Continental, we have still the golden United branding on the vertical stabilizer. On the fuselage we then find an internal registration code of the aircraft, the flag of the United States of America, and the full registration code of the aircraft. At the tail we also have a little bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. On top of the fuselage we then also find this lovely sat dome. At the front of the aircraft we find across the fuselage the writing of United. We also have the Star Alliance logo, of which the airline of course is a founding member. At the very front we also have some lovely detailing around the cockpit windows, including the window wipers which have been printed on. And underneath the nose we then have the aircraft type specification. The engine nacelles have been given the same light grey tone as the belly of the aircraft. Overall I think they look rather decent, especially the chevron nozzles have been pulled off very nicely. Also, if we look into the engines from the front we can see the engine fan blades, but I remain with the opinion that the engines of the MAX series from Herpa Wings in scale 500 are simply too small. But moving on for now, we can take a look here. Just above the wings we have the emergency exits printed on, and that of course leads us straight to the wings, because we definitely should also take a look at those. Here on the top side we have the different flaps, slats and spoilers carved out very nicely, and we do also have the markings for the emergency exits. Also the underside of the wings look rather decent in my opinion. However, also here we have a common problem with the MAX series from Herpa Wings. The winglets in my opinion are simply too bulky. They look okay, but again they are just a tiny bit too bulky in my opinion. Also a tad problematic is the landing gear. Here from the front, the main landing gear I think looks okay. Also from the side it looks okay, but it is just a tiny bit too tall. It is way better than we saw with the TUI 737 MAX 8, but it's still not great. The front landing gear is the same, it is okay, it just is a tiny bit too tall. And then last but not least, we of course also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back side of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 737 MAX 9 of United Airlines, the first attempt from Herpa Wings of a 737 MAX 9 and the overall third attempt of the MAX series. So what can we say about the aircraft model? Well, overall I think it is a decent attempt. The print quality is excellent, I can't really fault it there. The physical details are okay, but the common problems that we have seen with previous models remain. The engines are too small, the landing gear slightly too tall, and the winglets are too bulky. But Herpa has now had 3 attempts of getting it right, and honestly speaking I don't see them improving much from here, at least not for the foreseeable future. So if you want to have a 737 MAX aircraft in your fleet in scale 500, I don't think we will get anything better anytime soon. So if this model is something for your collection, well, that's obviously a decision only you can make. What I can say is that I would probably not have bought it if I wasn't making reviews. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then feel free to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, you're always welcome to hit subscribe. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.